Thailand is blessed with beautiful weather and so many beautiful beaches. I mean, just look at this place. And here in the Andaman Sea, there's so many great resorts, but which do you choose from? In this video, we'll be covering all three of the big resort areas in Ao Nang, Phi Phi, and Phuket, and show you what each of these great places has to offer. So let's get going. Happy New Year! We have just arrived in Krabi, and so our first destination today is at Tiger Cave Temple, where we're gonna hike up over 1,000 steps to get a beautiful panoramic view of the surrounding areas.
Please do not feed the monkey.
I'm actually looking forward to see if we can find some monkeys.
1,260 steps. Day 1 workout.
Right off the bat, and we already have some pretty steep stairs.
Take breathers.
This path up to the top is literally just staircase the entire way. What makes it hard is actually it's quite narrow and there's people coming down at the same time. And the other thing is, since this is a temple, you have to be dressed up appropriately. So we're both wearing long pants and the weather's a little bit humid today, so it's making the journey more difficult.
Halfway.
No, you shouldn't be eating that monkey. There's quite a few monkeys along this path up to the top, and as they told you to not feed them, it's for good reason, because the monkeys are actually really aggressive and will come snatching snacks out of people's bags. Almost there.
Yeah.
Final stretch. Woo! Made it. And now Dee Dee's making her way up the final stretch as well.
Yay.
Nice.
It took us about 35 to 40 minutes to go up to the peak. Yeah, it's better than expected.
Time to check out this view. The top, you can walk around all sides of this and get a great 360 view of the surrounding areas and Krabi's gorgeous limestone mountains.
Not looking forward for the climb down though. It's so steep.
Yay!
We finally arrived at the beach in Krabi. It's not as busy as I expected. Let's walk alongside the beach and then see what we find.
Although Ao Nang may not be the most beautiful beach, it is still a beach here in southern Thailand. What that means is the water is warm, you have beautiful nature distances with Krabi's famous limestone cliffs, but Ao Nang is actually a pretty good spot to start our video. And there's even a night market along this beach that we'll check out in a little bit. Oh, and of course, most importantly, you can view the beautiful sunset from here as well.
Fun place to sit down and then order a mango smoothie and then to wait for the sunset here. We came to a very famous restaurant here and then we ordered the signature food, which is a grilled prawn. The grilled prawn comes with a spicy sauce. Oh, so good. I think the shrimp is very fresh and I personally like the sauce, even though it's super spicy, but I think it goes very well with the shrimp. We are at the Ao Nang landmark night market at Krabi right now. I have a mission. You know what? I have to end our night with the mango sticky rice. Let's go.
There's so much food here and food from all different types of cuisine. So you have Japanese food and Korean food here as well. One unique thing about Ao Nang's night market is they have a Muay Thai ring that they have live fights going on. So check this out. What did you find?
Mango sticky rice. They sell special mango sticky rice here, which is served with coconut ice cream together. They have some gold flakes on it. Luxury.
Good morning from Ao Nang. Today we'll be heading over to Railay and taking a part in a bunch of activities over there. But the first step is to catch a longtail boat over there. We bought tickets for 100 baht per person one way. We have to wait for enough people to fill up one boat. So now our boat has, I think, 8 people. So we're ready to board the boat now. And there's actually no pier, so we're gonna have to walk into the water a little bit.
My pants are all wet.
And we're off. And we've made it to beautiful Railay Beach after about a 10-minute boat ride. And so we're surrounded by these beautiful limestone mountains. And that actually takes us to our first order of business, where we're gonna go rock climbing up some of these cliffs.
Time to be a real climber.
So we got our climbing gear, our harnesses, as well as our chalk bags, and now we're heading over to the climbing walls. We've arrived. There's so many people climbing the walls already. This looks so awesome. Time to get started. Good warm up. It's pretty high. Couldn't really find the handholds for a lot of them.
I turn. So nervous. I use too much almond and then no arm power anymore. A little bit high phobia. It's so hard. I think it's harder than bouldering indoor.
Time for a very long climb. Gonna climb all the way up there. Oh my god, that was quite long. The holds are actually not that bad, but because the climb is so long and it's so different than bouldering where you know what the exact holds are, this one is just rocks, so you can kind of grab whatever you want. It was so much fun though. The view at the top is amazing.
We're going to back cave and then drop from there. Beach is so beautiful, especially after climbing.
We're now walking along one of the beautiful beaches here in Railay and making our way over to the back cave where we're gonna hike up and then rappel down. Apparently at the very top of the cave there's some beautiful views. This is quite steep, and so they have a rope here to help people climb up to the top. Definitely recommended to wear sneakers here because the ground is jagged rocks and so slippers may be a little bit dangerous. We're gonna go into the dark part of the cave, need our headlamps now. Can only go down from here. Now it's my turn.
A little bit scary, but we made it. There's no way back, so we have to come down.
And we have now returned to West Railay Beach, and it's about noon. The beach is now fully packed with sunbathers and swimmers and people just enjoying this beautiful, beautiful beach. After climbing all morning, time to get some food. Are you hungry?
I'm starving, man.
After a quick lunch in Railay's walking street, now we're gonna get ready to resume our afternoon activities, and we're gonna rent a kayak and go kayak around the island. We're gonna make our way around this cliff over here, and we're gonna head towards a place called Happy Island that our climbing guide told us about. And apparently we can go straight through the island, so we're gonna look forward to that.
I'm tired now, so Brian is my private driver. This place is so beautiful and there's not much wave here, so we got to enjoy and relax on the kayak.
The water over here in Railay is definitely a lot nicer than near the Ao Nang town. Gonna go swimming?
Not here, closer to the beach. Dropped by a small beach and we're ready to swim now.
It's so beautiful here.
The beach is so peaceful, so not many people here. It takes about 15 minutes by kayak to come here. If you come by walking, you have to go all the way around.
We pulled up onto Pranang Beach, and at the very end of the beach is this cave called Pranang Cave, which is actually quite interesting, and take a look for yourself. As you can probably tell, there's a lot of items that are phallic shaped here, and supposedly coming here will give you good fertilities.
We're heading back now.
One of the nice things about renting a kayak is it allows you to basically explore the beaches, explore the mountains at your own free will, and it was great. I think we got it for 2 hours, which was probably just about the right amount of time. You could probably rent it for a little bit longer if you wanted to explore and go a little bit further out. With that, we're gonna catch our boat back to Ao Nang.
Gotta go into the water again.
After an awesome day in Railay, we've now returned back to Ao Nang, and so we're gonna rest up because tomorrow we're heading over to another island, which is the famous Phi Phi Islands, where we're gonna spend the next couple days. Good morning. Today we'll be heading over to the famous Phi Phi Islands. There's actually a couple ways to get to Phi Phi from Krabi. First one is the ferry, which we'll be taking, which is a slightly cheaper but slightly slower option. But we've heard because of the waves sometimes, it may be a slightly smoother ride. The other option is a speedboat, which is definitely faster, but can get pretty rough on the seas. We've definitely heard some of the horror stories, so we've definitely opted for the ferry option.
After 2.5 hours, we finally arrived. It took longer than we expected, but yeah, let's find a taxi boat and go to the hotel. You have to pay 20 bucks to get on the island for all the tourists.
I call it the Phi Phi fee.
One night, yeah?
One night.
One night, yes. One thing about the infrastructure here at Phi Phi is that there's not a lot of roads, and so to get to places like our hotel, we actually have to take an aqua taxi, and that's one of the main forms to get around, especially if you book a resort that's far away from the main town. What is this?
Chamomile tea or chai tea, no alcohol.
Chai
Yeah, this made in flower.
Thank you.
Let's get a welcome tea. Time for a private boat here. Free.
We decided to book a private boat for today, and the reason for that is once we arrived in Phi Phi, we found out there's just hordes of people, and there was actually a lot of tour options that combine you with other people in the same boat. But from their tour packages, they seem to rush you to a bunch of locations to try to cram in as many locations as possible. And so we want a private boat so we can enjoy it ourselves, but also so we can enjoy the tour a little bit more leisurely at our own pace and visit the places that we would like to visit. After about a 45-minute boat ride, we've arrived at our first destination, Bamboo Island. Time to get snorkeling.
Where's the bamboo? It's called Bamboo Island here, but we couldn't find even a single one.
Beautiful blue waters, white sand, beautiful weather. What more could you ask for?
We arrived in Nui Bay. Here is very famous for snorkeling. But now it's almost sunset. I guess the water will be a little bit chilly, but let's go snorkeling. Here is much better. Come on, come on. I feel like here we have more species of fish than Bamboo Island. The sun is going down. It's almost sunset, so the water is getting a little bit colder. So we couldn't spend more time here. If you want to snorkeling, here is much better.
There's a lot fewer people here, so it does feel like a little bit more of an exclusive beach to enjoy on your own.
Now it's our private sunset. It's perfect sunset because we are on a private boat.
We've just returned to the Phi Phi town. We're walking around town trying to find a good restaurant, and I'm actually surprised how many restaurants and options there are here. It's actually quite lively, despite there being a lot fewer people right now at night than there was in the morning.
This is a very small, tiny town, but all the streets are fully decorated with a lot of lights. It's made the town very lovely.
All the streets here are basically walking only, and so there's no cars here. But what's actually interesting is there's actually a bunch of people with carts that are carrying various stuff like luggage, and they'll actually make beep 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 sounds as they're walking by to alert people. At the end of the day, Phi Phi still has a reputation as a party town, and if you walk along the North Beach, you can definitely see a lot of the bars blasting music with a lot of bright lights. We're a little early, but later on in the night, I'm sure it's gonna get pretty poppin' here. Good morning from the Phi Phi Islands. Today we'll be visiting the world famous Maya Bay, and so we're having an early start today. It's about 7:30 right now, and the reason we're up this early is because Maya Bay gets really crowded, and so we're gonna try to get there before the rest of the crowds.
We're going over there.
It's also interesting, a lot of the other boats like us at this time of the day seem to also be private boats. They must have had the same idea of like, hey, let's go to Maya Bay early in the day to beat the crowds, as opposed to like the tourists, which probably leave a little bit later in the day.
Today we departed at 7:30 a.m. and now arrived Maya Bay at 8:11. There are already more than 20 boats here. We saw we are very early, but there's a lot of other early birds.
Oh, there's so many people here today. Can't imagine what it's going to be later in the day. I've heard that there's a traffic jam with boats. We're actually lucky we were able to get right in, get off the boat, and now we're going to go explore Maya Bay. There's a 400 baht per person fee to enter Maya Bay, and I think the money's used to help with the nature conservation here. It is kind of expensive. Yesterday we actually paid 400 baht as well to access Bamboo Island, so I hope we're not being scammed to pay twice, but hopefully this money is for a good cause. I also want to point out that the boats actually don't park at Maya Bay. They actually park on the other side of the island. It's about a couple 100-meter walk, and I think we're almost there. I can see the light coming out from the other side of this jungle. Okay, so we just got to the beach and there are so many people even though it's before 8:30 right now. The other flip side is since it's so early in the morning, the sun hasn't fully come out yet and so the water isn't fully blue. So I think that's kind of a trade-off. You have the balance. So we're gonna wait a little bit to see if it gets a little bit brighter and the water gets a little bit bluer.
The sand is so soft and very, very fine. Just like white sugar. With sunshine and without sunshine, really basically different. With sunshine, we can see crystal clear, light blue water. Swimming is not allowed here. So if you go too far, one of the lifeguards, they will beep, 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 and then yell at you.
This is a habitat for the sharks, and I think I just saw one about 20 meters out in the water. Trying to see if I can find a closer one that will come closer to shore, but they're definitely in the water over here.
Maya Bay has been closed for a couple years to let the nature recover and just reopened recently. So lucky us, it's just open again. I think what impressed me more is nothing about the sea water. It's more the sand because it's so soft and so fine.
Since this is also a pretty small pier, the boats can't park here because there's so many people coming in and out. So the boats actually go over there and park. We just had to hire a guy, use a walkie-talkie to call our driver to come pick us up. Before we wrap up our boat tour here in the Phi Phi Islands, there's one final stop we're gonna make, which is at Monkey Bay, where there's a very small beach where there's a bunch of monkeys that will come down and interact with us.
What are they doing? The monkeys seems like they're not scared of people. Instead, they're waiting for people to feed them. They're so close to the people.
Although the monkeys are definitely cute, I don't know exactly how I feel about the fact that there's just so many people here and so many people feeding the wild monkeys. In some ways, I hope the monkeys haven't become reliant on the humans to feed them for food. Thank you. Bye-bye. Overall, I definitely have some mixed feelings about Phi Phi. In terms of the beauty, it's definitely unmatched with amazing beaches, the water, the islands. But on the other hand, because there's just so many people, especially in the areas like the town or the major attractions like Maya Beach or Bamboo Island, it doesn't feel like we can really relax and enjoy this place the way it was meant to be. But on the flip side, there are some private resorts that have their own private beaches that, in my opinion, may actually be the place to go if you're here in Phi Phi. So we booked a stay at Viking Nature Resort, which just so happens to meet those conditions where it's only about a 10-minute boat ride from town, but it has its own private beach with beautiful soft white sand, clear blue waters. Dee Dee can get a nice relaxing massage on the beach. Everything you're looking for in a resort, and we can really relax and enjoy all the beauty that these islands have to offer.
Finally, we are going to our last destination of this trip, Phuket. It will take about 2 hours from Phi Phi Island to Phuket. And then see you in Phuket.
After a smooth 2-hour boat ride, we have made it to Phuket Island. Now time to find a taxi to get to our hotel.
Just checked in, ticket to our room. I'm so hungry.
There's quite a bit of traffic, but we finally got here, and so we just checked into our hotel. We're absolutely starving right now, but we're gonna grab a quick bite to eat and then call it a night. And then tomorrow, we'll start exploring all of what Phuket has to offer. Good morning from beautiful Phuket. Phuket is home to countless beautiful luxury resorts, and we happen to be staying at one called the Mandarava Resort and Spa. And I can't imagine a more relaxing way to enjoy a morning than to hang out in one of their exclusive swimming pools.
I almost fell asleep here. So chill.
And my favorite part about the pools at this resort is this. Check this out.
Hello, can I have a Mandarava special and one pina colada?
Thank you. Hotel in the morning. I would say this is my ideal way to start a day here in Phuket.
After several days of just constantly being on the go, it was really nice to just relax for a couple hours, especially in a super nice resort like the one we're staying at. This afternoon, we're going to be heading over to the Kata and Karon beach areas of Phuket. Phuket is a huge island that has many, many beaches, and the first beach we'll be visiting is Karon Beach, which is a close walk from our hotel, and it's a 3.5 kilometer long beach.
We heard that compared to Patong Beach, Karon Beach will have a lot fewer people. But today we came here, Uza is still very busy, very crowded. There's still a lot of people in Karon Beach.
The weather today also isn't the best. It's a little overcast, so the water is not that blue. It still looks very nice, but it's not the beautiful, clear blue waters that we saw the other days in the Phi Phi Islands. I think we're gonna make our way to Kata Beach, which is a little bit more exciting because Karon Beach doesn't have actually too much going on. I'd also say this beach is definitely quite chill. Most people here are just relaxing under the umbrellas or on their beach towels. There's some people in the water swimming. It definitely feels like much more of a relaxing beach if that's what you're looking for.
We came to Lamside Cafe, which is near the Kata Beach. It's on the cliff, and then you can see the whole ocean.
Wow, this cafe is surprisingly large. So many seats everywhere along the cliff.
I ordered a strawberry sunset. It's like a tequila sunset, but without the tequila.
They don't have a lot of food here, but they do sell some finger food. Food's okay. Good vibes though. Now that guy has a great spot for the cafe.
It's a very beautiful place. I like it a lot. So many people taking a lot of photos here. It's very Instagrammable. After we charge our battery, now we're heading out to Kata Beach.
One thing we've noticed about Phuket so far is just the scale of everything is way different than the other resort areas. And so everything is just super spread out. We didn't rent a car or a motorcycle this time, but we were actually wondering maybe things would be a lot more convenient to do that as we just have to call Grab or also have to walk.
We're at Kata beach right now.
Kata beach overall is a smaller beach compared to Karon beach. I think it's only about 1 or 2 kilometers long. Since arriving here, there's definitely a lot more people here. It looks like there's basically also umbrellas that stretch the entire beach. Hopefully we can find a seat and relax for the rest of the day.
We managed to get a seat. We spent 200 baht and then we got 2 seats. Actually, the sand here is much finer and softer than the Karon beach. I like Kata more. Now we're going to get into the sea. The water is warm, it's very clean.
I can definitely see why Kata beach is slightly more popular than Karon beach. Overall, the beaches are actually quite similar, but the sand quality here is slightly softer and the waves are a lot smaller, so it's ideal for swimming or just hanging out on the water. And they also have dedicated swimming areas here where you can make sure to avoid the boats, especially since there's a lot of water activities going on here. So even though there is a lot of people here, it doesn't actually feel overcrowded. And what I mean by that is when I was swimming, there was definitely plenty of space to just swim and enjoy my space without hitting other people. And even along the umbrellas, there's plenty of empty seats. So I do feel like overall this beach is slightly more livelier than Karon beach, and it makes sense since there's actually probably a lot more nightlife and food and drink options nearby. With that being said, we are going to go over to have a nice dinner at a seafood restaurant here nearby in Kata.
I want the stir-fry mantis shrimp. That's what I want. So we ordered the mantis shrimp here, which I have been dying for all this trip. And finally, they're going to go inside my tummy. So let's taste it. We chose the small one, but still very big. I'm gonna teach Brian how to eat because it's his first time to have the mantis shrimp. So first of all, you have to do a massage, and then, well, actually the shower is already removed, so never mind. Forget about the massage part. You can just eat it directly. The meat is so bouncy. So fresh.
After a delicious dinner, we made our way back to Kata beach just in time for a beautiful sunset. And all the beaches on the west coast of Phuket are pretty well known for their sunsets. Can't lie, it is quite beautiful. If you're coming here and seeing this for the first time, I would absolutely be blown away by the beauty of these beaches and oceans. Like a lot of the other destinations we visited here in Thailand, Phuket definitely has night markets here as well. And we're currently in Kata, and there's a night market here in Kata that's open every single day of the week. There's actually a couple more famous night markets here in Phuket, but those are only open certain days, like the one in the Old Town, which is only open on Sundays.
They can accept Alipay here in the entire market. That's what they said on the banner, but let's check. You know what to do in the night market, right? Mango sticky rice. Yellow dragon fruit. It's my first time seeing that.
There's so many interesting fruits here. They've got all the tropical fruits here with like mangoes, but also the exclusive ones like mangosteen, dragon fruit, durian, whatever this weird spiky thing is. So the Kata night market is a lot smaller than a lot of the night markets we've been to, but it still has your typical food, souvenir shops, clothing shops, so it's still a fun place to go check out, especially if you haven't been to a night market yet. Good morning, we just arrived in Phuket Old Town, and so even though Phuket is more well known for its beautiful beaches and nightlife, it also has a cute little old town. But first, time to grab a bite to eat at one of its famous Michelin restaurants here. We're getting lunch at a restaurant called Railay restaurant, which is based in Old Town Phuket. And what I really like about the interior of this restaurant is it has the traditional Chinese/Portuguese architecture style. And we're really excited to try the food here because the food is traditional Phuket or Southern style Thai food, which we haven't had yet on this trip.
This is the crab coconut milk curry. And they have so many crab meat inside. Look. Then we're supposed to put the noodle inside the soup and eat together. Let's try. The rice noodle soaked all the curry taste inside, even though we couldn't see the crab. I think the crab meat is very fresh.
I love crab meat, but I'm always too lazy to peel apart the crab, and I'm glad that they gave us very large chunks of crab meat. I think it goes really well with the coconut milk. It gives a little bit more of like a tropical feel and makes us feel like we're still in paradise. So here we have another traditional Southern Thai food, and it's called mu hong, or it's basically like steamed or braised pork. And apparently this restaurant is really famous for this, and they cook this for 3 hours and braise it in this peppery and garlic sauce. The sauce is so good. So rich. Even the fatty portion is very tasty. We've ordered one of the famous southern dishes called Kwa Kling, which is essentially a minced meat dish that's stir-fried with curry paste. We're really excited to try this out. We're actually a little worried that it might have been too spicy, so we actually ordered it, not the normal spiciness levels.
It's very spicy. The spice just come after. Even though we order less spicy, ooh, it's still like burning in my mouth.
Definitely has some complex flavors. It's hard to describe exactly what all the flavors are.
The Phuket Old Town is a very lovely, very artistic, little cute town.
If you're looking for a change of pace from the rest of Phuket, this is a great place to check out as it's actually quite different. But it is a little far from the west coast of Phuket. It took us about 45 minutes to get here by a taxi, so keep that in mind. There's so many colorful colonial buildings here, and many of them have been converted into shops or restaurants or cafes, so great for a nice afternoon to hang out. It's a shame that we came here on a Saturday because on Sundays, this place actually turns into a night market and I'm sure it looks amazing. But today there's no night market here, but we can still enjoy the colonial architecture.
And now the mango sticky rice. The restaurant selling mango sticky rice are everywhere here.
Unfortunately, that concludes our trip in Phuket because of the flight to catch tonight. But before we do, there's one final thing we need to do here still.
You know how to end a very happy journey with mango sticky rice. Last mango sticky rice.
We bought a mango sticky rice on the airport duty-free shop. It's a little bit pricey. So usually when you go to the night market, it sells at less than 100 baht or 110-ish. But here, they sell 180. But surprisingly, it tastes very good because I like the mango more like fresh and young and then have a little sour flavor in it. So actually, I would say this is the top 3 best mango sticky rice I have in Thailand.
To wrap up, which of these resort areas should you visit? First of all, starting with Krabi and Ao Nang. This is a much more relaxed and laid-back option with decent outdoor options and a reasonably sized town area. It offers a nice balance of beaches, adventure, and culture. And the surprise highlight of our overall Thailand trip was definitely Railay, and that's a must visit, especially if you love rock climbing. As for Phi Phi, in terms of sheer beauty, Phi Phi was hands down the most mesmerizing. From Maya Bay to Bamboo Island to all the small beaches and coves, each more stunning than the last. There's plenty of picturesque sights and wonders. On the flip side, the Phi Phi town is quite small and very touristy everywhere you go, but it does offer decent nightlife options. And lastly, why should you go to Phuket? Simply put, it has the most options to choose from. From the large resorts to all the different beaches to restaurants and nightlife options, there's probably a little bit for everyone. It's also probably the most accessible for people visiting with an international airport as well. And that's a wrap for our video. We hope this has been helpful to learn about these amazing locations. And thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.